Hello, this is Jack from Fluency.com, and in this episode of Ask Jack, I'm going to talk about two common modal verbs and the difference between them.
Marie asks, what's the difference between must and have to?
Thank you for this question. Now, this is a very complex topic, and it's not always easy to explain the subtle differences between these two modal verbs. Especially when they're so common and they have different meanings and they're used in different ways depending where you live. And I don't want to confuse you. In order to really understand how to use these two modal verbs, it's important to get that input. Something I talk about all the time. But I will highlight a few things that are going to help you when it comes to using these two verbs. Firstly, both of these modal verbs can be used for obligation. I must decorate the Christmas tree. You can't see this, but there's a giant Christmas tree here, and I must decorate this soon. Or, I have to decorate the Christmas tree soon. Now, the difference, and I think this is specific to British English, it might be used in different countries too, but I know it's not as common in American English, okay? There's a subtle difference between I must decorate the tree and I have to decorate the tree. When I say I must decorate the tree, this is an internal obligation. It's something that I'm saying that I must do. It's coming from inside. I must decorate the tree soon. However, my wife says to me, Jack, let's do this tonight. We have to do it tonight. This is more of an external obligation because my wife is telling me I have to do it. So I can tell my friends who say, Jack, let's play poker tonight. Okay, let's play some poker tonight. And I say I can't because I have to decorate the tree. I have to decorate the tree tonight. Now, if you're a little bit confused, I'm talking about a Christmas tree here. I'm filming this in December. So I have to decorate the Christmas tree tonight. It's an external obligation. My wife is telling me I have to do it. An example for this that is used all the time is the doctor. And you say, I have to take these pills every day for 2 weeks. It's an external obligation. The doctor is telling you you have to do this. An internal obligation, another example, I must study harder. I must study harder. That's an internal obligation where it's you that's deciding on this obligation. When we're talking about obligation in the negative form, we can't use have to. Because if I say you don't have to do your homework, it means it's not necessary. There is no obligation. You can, but you don't have to. It's up to you. And a lot of people feel that, or a lot of people think when you say you don't have to do it, that it's the obligation, but in the negative sense, it's not. As I say, it's saying that it's not necessary. You can do it, but you don't have to do it. Okay, so when we're talking about obligation in the negative, generally we say you can't do that, or you mustn't do that. We use mustn't in this sense again, but that's a big difference to know. You don't have to do it. Just think about, when you are at school, or when you were at school, and the teacher said, you have to do your homework. You don't have to do all of these exercises, but you have to do some homework. You don't have to study before the exam, but you should. So it's, when we're using don't have to, it's you can if you want to, but it's not necessary. One last thing I want to say about must, because there is another way that we can use it. We can use it for certainty when we are sure about something, okay? Now just look at my hair. In my live lessons, a lot of people comment on my hair, so it's a topic of discussion. And someone might say, you must be wearing hair gel. Or you must have gel in your hair. You must have gel in your hair. Because they are certain I have gel in my hair because of the way it looks. Okay. Another example is my friend arrives here. Okay. He arrives and he says, I have been traveling for 16 hours now. I've been in the car for 16 hours. I say, you must be exhausted. So it's when you are certain about something, okay? You must be exhausted. And we use it when we're basing our prediction, or certainty on other factors, something that we can evidence, some kind of evidence. My hair is the evidence. You must have hair gel in your hair. And my friend who says he has been driving for 16 hours, you must be exhausted. So hopefully that has given you an introduction to the difference between must and have to. As I say, there are lots of different exceptions and different things going on here, but that is the general idea of how to use these two words. In the comment section, what I want you to do is to just give me some examples of these two modal verbs. Talk about a context, maybe do a dialogue, but give me some examples in the comment section and I will comment on those for you. So thank you for watching this video and I'll see you next time.